Hello, beautiful hearts. Thank you for your presence. And thank you for your energy that you share with this world in your own way, playing your own piece of puzzle. And today, being here with Hamish, we will discuss, talk, go inwards, and talk more about Black Angels because we are in piece here and there, a Black Angel for someone else, even though we know who we are as a being, as a soul, as a sovereign being. So, Hamish, thank you so much for dive deep into this really interesting conversation. I have no idea where it will take us, but I am totally open to see the Black Angel inside myself. So, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be the art of not shaming oneself, which I think is probably very important to appreciate, but also to realize that, yeah, there's bits of me that I'm not really proud of. And yeah, they're there. My shadow parts and things like that. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what comes out.
Yes, let's do that. And thank you because I don't know where this format will go further in the future, but thank you for accepting be my partner in this steps further. Yeah, I will start saying that the Black Angel inside me that is still here and there because we never end this journey of self-discovering and peeling off the layers of what we have been hiding. There is a Black Angel that it's called still this codependent, the emotional codependent one that still searching and looking around to be loved, to be accepted, to be understood, and to be seen in the way that it wants to play this important role in everybody's life. We call it a little bit of ego. Yeah, maybe we can do that because everything is in the same pocket. Black Angels that I am still playing a role, someone else's reality, is doing its best to see its own colors, to not shame myself for that, but to be agree with, okay, this is happens. I'm seeing you. But how can we move together so we can peel off this layer so the black will be a little bit lighter and lighter and lighter? I used to be a person who was really emotional, codependent on someone else, especially in relationships where my life was disappeared and it was our life or his life or our life, but my life was not there. And that's where all my focus was directed to that person, to that relationship. I can recognize it's a damaging point of seeing life. I go through it. I still have residues, so to say, to work with it, to see it more deeply for what it is, and to let it go, to detach myself. So that's can somehow I can see the Black Angel inside me, still playing out, because it's the shadow self of us that we know it's a endless healing journey. So we are that white and dark. So who needs the attention that we need to put our focus on? Yeah, that's how I can say about my own Black Angel playing the role in this life. At this point, still, how you see it for yourself.
For myself, I'm going to ask you a few questions first.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think there's any point in going back and see where it came from and all that kind of stuff
That's true.
because it's happening. How do you spot it? How do you suddenly become aware like, "Oh, I'm doing that pattern again?"
Hmm. Huh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's something there that I kind of visualize myself from another perspective, seeing myself playing the same role. And I'm seeing I'm doing it. And I'm aware hey, wait a little bit. This wasn't the past. This is not who I am today. Why am still playing that role? So catching myself on that, then I'm have to whoop, no more. Is not who I want to be. Is what I have done it, but not is not who I am today. So from that awareness, from that point, I'm doing my best to take another path, to choose differently, even when it feels so discomfort. I can recognize it, that is discomfort to choose something else. You don't know where it will take you, but is another path than I usually did it. Yes, so that's how I often spot myself in these old patterns.
Yep, it is, isn't it? It is that awareness, and I've said this before. Being a broken record. It's all those kind of those cliches. I like that. Yeah, and then when you spot it, what do you do next? Once you've realized that you're doing it again, how do you manage to go, don't want to do that. I want to choose a different path.
Just take the decision and feel how it's make me feel when I choose the world path. I'm really looking at it. How is make me feel when I choose the world path? And what emotions bringing up when I take the decision to choose the new path? In my own experience, I felt that every time when I choose a new path, it take me to this unknown, and it's like cut it off because I don't know what will happening afterwards. But so this is the discomfort, and it's the feeling is new, is excited, but in the same time is wondering what will be next, how will be that. So that's how I'm doing to choosing something else, which is still a work in progress for me still, because it's in so many layers, finding myself not only in relationship but in myself with all my projects, or sabotaging myself or doubting myself, or all this stuff. So I'm following the feeling inside me, what's give me, how it's make me feel, and how I want to feel, where I want to go. So this is the way how I'm navigating to the other direction.
Yep, you said two brilliant things. The way I want to go, how I want to feel. You're taking your agency back, aren't you? You're going, I am not going to play that pattern, be unkind to someone, protect myself, do X, Y, Z. I'm going to, what do I want? Juliana wants this. I want the podcast to work. I'm moving house. I want this to happen. I want this to happen. And those are more important than that same pattern that actually hurts myself and other people. Yeah.
Mm,
Yep. How's it
exactly.
working? Is it working? Is it exciting?
Oh, yeah, it's exciting, but at the same time, fierce knocking at the door. It's a combination, actually. It's so weird, the feeling, because it's a melting of two feelings in the same time, and both of them are on the same place, and you can feel both of them like cooking or dancing together, so to say. And I'm aware of them, but at the same time, like, I have to dance with them in order to move forward. I have to feel it. Maybe I have to be aware to not fall so much in those fears of what will happening next, but to be aware that I am protected. Universe show me that way. Yes. Okay. So trust that universe will take care of you if you take that way. Is that way supporting your well-being, mental well-being, physical, emotional? Yes. So be sure that is the way you are supported. So it's really interesting to experience this. Sometimes I call it I'm in two worlds in the same time. Excitement, new world, new life, but in the same time I have to kind of close a door, end up with the old stuff, mentally, whatever, people, or so it's really it's beautiful at the same time. I can recognize it. It's going through the body, different emotions. But in the end, I don't know where it will take me, but I trust
Mm.
that wherever I will land, it will be the most in alignment with my being.
Yeah. I think you've nailed it. It is that trusting that it's going to work. It's that excitement. I know
Mm.
excitement and anxiety, they're identical. It's basically which one do you want to look at. You can either be anxious, be anxious, be anxious in the old patterns and what if, or go, trust. If something goes wrong, I'll learn from it. Yeah.
Yes, and also what I observe, not only in my case, in my life, but in the people's lives around me, that once they don't make that, so to say, mistake, whatever that means, they are not able to open their eyes to the reality to see it. So it's like, we have to make those mistakes, or we have to put our feet in a specific place that, okay, is not so smart, but we realize I could not see it if I could not do that. I really see it in my own life and in people's life, and I realize that's not mistakes. We have to step on some holes to see better, so to say. Yeah, I want to ask you, where you are being aware of your black angels playing out, and how are you viewing that aspect of you from the outside? If you look at yourself from the outside, how you view that aspect of you and how you navigate through all this?
I am blushing as I think about it. I can feel the heat in my ears and in my face. It's tough. It is really embarrassing. It's embarrassing and it's shameful. And then I have to rephrase those. So I think the best example is at the moment I'm setting up a business. So I'm not working. So I'm having to borrow some money. And without going too personal, it's got to a stage where I've asked for borrow some money and it's been conditions and this and that, and then I've been, well, if you're not going to if you're not going to lend me the money, then I will do this, and if you're not going to do this, then I will do this, and fuck you, and angry and role playing and ruminating. And my journey has been that ruminating is really unhealthy for me. Playing, thinking about if this, then this, you do this, I will do this, I hate you because. And it has been fascinating because as soon as I stop, what's the right word? As soon as I stop allowing that to happen and step back and observe it, I can just say, this is so unhelpful. I have no idea what this person is going to say. I am presupposing. I am putting them in a box. I am not allowing them to be themselves because I am saying, you will do this, my expectations. You will do that, my expectations. And so they will, because my energy is not allowing them to be themselves. And I have had to have quite strong words with myself and just say, look, this is not okay. Every single one of my expectations is based on past events, on past scenarios, when I was different, when they were different, when everything else was different. So I have been watching myself ruminating and being unkind and just thinking unkind thoughts about people. And I've had to just stop and then breathe and realize that I don't know what's going to happen. And so, I have stopped doing that. And then I look back at it and I needed to rant and rage. I needed to get that out of my system. It was okay to do that because I was upset. I was really upset about, I need this and I need you to help me. And I told a friend about it and they said, well, why don't you go and do it this way? So that took all of my anger and rage out of that situation, all those expectations away, think about it differently, do it differently, and suddenly there is no attachment to that relationship, to whatever, and who knows what's going to happen. But I've got myself sorted by going down a different route rather than blaming and raging at someone who doesn't deserve it because they're living their life and they trigger me regularly anyway. And so it's just part of a relationship pattern that I am dealing with and understanding. And then I get blunt and I snap back again and I have to apologize. And so that whole Black Angel bit is, I don't know where it came from. Doesn't really matter. We've discussed that. It's not really important. But I do it. As I said, the last 48 hours I've been aware of it and I don't want to do it anymore because it's not helping me. Like you said, I have made a decision. I'm going to do it differently. And it has changed that dynamic in the relationship. The conversation's already lighter. And we will catch up during the week next week, and who knows what will come out of it. But I am not going to be putting that person in a little black box, beating it up. And it's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful, as you said, to see that awareness of what I have been doing and how I have not allowed that relationship to it's been a pattern. My wife, my ex-wife, I was very codependent. Same kind of thing. I did not allow her to breathe. I would disempower her because I wanted to control. So, yeah, that's the kind of thing it's been. It's been looking at that, controlling, looking at that, yeah, a controlling aspect of trying to make things go my way rather than allowing them because I can't really control them. So I think that's my black angel trying to be in control.
Beautiful. Beautiful is to when you are in that moment of the awareness and see yourself like, ooh,
Mm.
what I'm playing out here. Like, ooh, this is who I am. No. But once we realize it and we accept it and we start to see from another perspective the situation, and we really see clearly, as I said before, we have to step in a hole to realize or to see the situation or to open our eyes differently.
Mm.
So, yeah. Okay, what's coming to your mind?
Manipulation.
My life story.
I can't believe that. Yeah, no, manipulation, that is another big one for me because I'm tall, broad, strong, and I can be really manipulative. And yeah,
So tell me more
tell me
about
more.
this manipulative.
Um, it's an interesting one because it's shadow. You know, it's healthy with intention, depending on what the intention is. So
Mm.
I describe for the guys who are listening to this, imagine a knife edge. So you've got a knife pointing upwards, the blade pointing up. On one side, there is needs and wants. I need to be safe. I want to be loved. I need this from somebody else. And on the other side, there is being empowered and empowering people and being authentic. And so, whatever you are, manipulative, that will take you down to the needing and wanting side. And then coercing onto that side. Coaching, empowering is, to my mind, the same. What's the right word? It's not the same energy. It's got the same intensity, but the vibration is different. The energy is different. That is all about the empowering. I embrace the fact that I can manipulate people, but I am doing it with the intention to empower people, to coach people, to nurture people. So I have had to go through that dance of I am a manipulator. I am coercive. That is really bad. That is really, really bad. And then realizing that that actually is part of my superpower because I am able to listen to somebody and just see what they're doing and just say, well, have you thought of this? Rather than I want, have you thought of this? So it is looking at your shadow, which is really who you are. I am manipulative. I am this. I am that. Those are just what they are. I'm also loving and kind and caring and supportive. And if I'm doing that from I want to be loved, I'm codependent. And man, I was codependent. I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you. I'll support you. Love me, love me, love me. And then I wouldn't. And then it was just chaos. So I can still be that loving, kind, supportive person, but not do it because I want something from you. I'm doing it from supporting you. And if you love me back, great. If you don't, well, it doesn't matter. But that started with the manipulation, which was done from fear, which was done from need, which was done from wanting to feel safe, wanting this, wanting whatever, and being big enough to be scary and not aggressive, but overly assertive, which was not always healthy. So, yeah, I think that manipulation was a really interesting thing to look at when it came to who I am. And maybe it's rephrasing language, but it's been really powerful in a way to understand who I am and the fact that I don't need to change. I need to change how I'm using my strength. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you for sharing because I see now you say like you turn around this manipulative is not for your own needs, it's actually for sharing for others, for empowering others, which we have this manipulation is a bad word, but then it's coming in my mind. But we are here on earth to manipulate energies. So it's going on the same. And when you share this about manipulating, but with intention, not for selfish needs, it's actually to share with the world. But this manipulation is not anymore the same word. It's not manipulation for selfishness, is a manipulation for sharing and giving to others. I love when you share this with me, because I just received this another understanding of manipulation. What is that? And beautifully said, with intention, because many manipulate for their own needs, and I need this specific, so I will do or say this, so I receive that. So yeah, you make me to not run anymore from this word manipulation, but to give an extra look, so to say. So I like your point. I really like it.
It's fascinating, isn't it? What intrigues me is language. I struggle with language simply because it's very nuanced. We have to use language so we know that a circle is a round thing and a sphere is the earth. We have to have language. So manipulation is bad. Selfish is bad. No, it's not. Selfish is you have to have 2 points. You just can't, I'm going on holiday. Where are you going? You've got a destination. You've got to have 2 points to make sense of an argument. You've got to have attention. This is where I am and this is where I want to go. I'm being manipulative to support people. So we'll rephrase that language. I'm empowering. I'm being manipulative to feed myself. I'm being manipulative. I'm empowering myself from other people. No, you're playing with words. So words are powerful. Very, very powerful. So but you still have to have an intention with that word, like a spell, abracadabra. Then you can really add the power to it for, I don't like good or bad, right or wrong, but for empowering and nurturing and supporting, or for taking.
Yes, and wise by sharing all this with, I just see, for example, this pen, for those who can see it on YouTube or on video. So you said like manipulation for selfishness, for needing is on one side, the empowerment and sharing to manipulate is on other side. And the same time I say, white angel is here, dark angel is on the other side. So we need to bend this where we are standing, where we want to be, until we kind of learn how to hold the balance in this. Because selfishness, I am selfish when I'm by myself, charging my own energy. It's a selfishness, but is a healthy one. Again, manipulation is manipulative, but is a healthy one. So what's going on right now by speaking with you this is like all these beliefs that we hear about selfishness, manipulation, or other things. We have been attached a negative sense to it. And now when we move on in life and realize that, hey, actually we have to see from another perspective, which is also have a positive side of this. And then with this awareness, we can choose with intention to get more empowered. Thank you. I love it. I love it the way you see it and express it. Yeah. Because words are limiting us but also we have to learn to enrich our own language through throwing out those flags we put before, and actually to open the door to see the other's perspective of, yeah.
And that is the power of language, because as you were saying that, what came to my mind was, manipulation, society says it's bad. Selfishness, society, certainly Victorianism, says it is bad. So all these words that we use throughout the ages, throughout society, throughout dogma, throughout control, throughout religion, throughout whatever, these words have been attached something else. As you said, they've been attached a negative aspect, whereas love, grace, these have a positive connotation to them. And not necessarily you can love someone to death. You can be so loving that you actually swamp them and disempower them. So
Mm.
it is language, it is society, it is how we're brought up, it is our ancestral patterns. So it is deliciously rich, but it's also that unconsciousness that, yeah, manipulation is just bad. Why? Because it is. And then you look at some words and how they've changed their meaning over some in decades, some in hundreds of years. Some words started off as very negative and they've now become very positive, and vice versa. And it's, again, going back to, this is the fun with language. It is limiting, especially when you cross the language barriers, different countries, different cultures. It gets even more nuanced and difficult. Where that takes us back to black angels, I'm not really sure, but we must try and get back on topic a bit. But yeah, back to that manipulation. I was a black angel, absolutely, to my wife and to other people in other relationships. It's just me keeping myself safe. And unfortunately, within a relationship, they trigger me and I react back and I become their black angel. Hopefully, I will spot it. Hopefully, when they say, "Oh, you're being whatever," I can go, "Wow, you're right. I'm really sorry." Uh, Other times, I don't notice it. But that's just part of that journey, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. And this these black angels, I feel like, again, the words, the language, when I say black angels, already our mind is going to, oh, scary boogie black angels. Like, oh my gosh, we need to run from them. We have to embrace them. They are with us, in us, and it's showing up in those specific moments, in those specific situations where we lack awareness, where we hold on pain, or where is still something to be seen. And when we are not aware of those wounds, an expression of it is waking up a black angel. That's how I am seeing in my own life, even today, for myself. I'm my own black angels for myself in moments that are happening. We don't need to be for someone else always. So, yeah. Do you have, to wrap up these black angels as us being that one, not somebody from the outside, do you have something to wrap up all this?
I love the drawing. You guys can't see this on the podcast land, but she's drawing the shape of a heart as she says, "Can you wrap this up?" So yeah, what immediately came to mind is be really gentle. When someone triggers you, don't just bash them verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally. Get curious, because, as you said, there is a potential to learn a lesson. And if you just go back on that same thing, that same reaction, the same repeated pattern of being the victim, crying, lashing out, thumping, all these things, you're not going to change. You're not going to have that potential to do something new, to be that scary point. I've mentioned it before. When you will always get triggered, you will always react the same way because it comes from childhood. You will always react, but then you can pause. It's like that little bit breathing in. There's a tiny little step between the breathe in and breathe out. That point you can choose anything. That is where there is infinity. So when the black angel does the same shit to you again and you're about to go, "I'm going to thump you, I'm going to cry, I'm going to whatever," you can go, "No, I'm going to do something different." You've got infinite potential. Rather than just doing the same thing, you can walk away, you can make a cup of tea, you can go for a run, you can change a habit, you can leave them and never see them again, you can do anything you want, rather than just the same thing you have done before. So yeah, go for it. You've got nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by changing that story, changing what you want to do.
Thank you. Yes. Nothing is lost, whatever we have been through. Nothing we will lose, whatever we choose to. Everything is as it's supposed to be. There is a reason for everything. Like everything, where our minds cannot grasp it. I'm grateful we go to these black angels to see, even myself, my own black angel, what is playing out, playing mind games with me today. And the only thing that help us to catch it, the awareness, as you said, and to dare to step there, to make that mistake, if you want to call it, whatever it is that, but to be aware of it. And as you say, breathe in and infinite timeline is there. Breathe out, choose that what you want to experience or to feel. So thank you. Thank you for sharing with me. I really love it. I really love this idea with manipulation and that our words are so limited in expressing it and how it's distorting the detached an idea on a specific word, and when this word is pumping out, our mind is distorting the whole idea because has it a negative connotation to it. But that's with the manipulation. I love it the way you express it because it's not in a selfish way, it's in a giving, sharing way, which has nothing to do with gaining, but it has so much to do with empowering not only you self as doing that, but empowering others to do that for themselves. So that's where power stands in. We have to be very aware of the words, to not let our mind to stuck in the idea they already have been created in our brains, whatever we have attached to it. Yeah. Thank you, Hamish. Thank you for this.
I think you've summed it up really beautifully there. We're in danger of going down another big topic when it comes to language and attachment. Definitely a conversation for another time, attachment. But I think be the black angel and just be willing to change. I think Rhonda, whoever wrote the Secret, I can't remember her name, she doesn't constantly work on herself. She doesn't sit up and say, right, today I'm going to spend 6 hours working on myself. She just carries on with life, and when shit happens, she goes, right, okay, what do I need to do? And I think that is the healthy way of doing it. Get on with life, do, be, laugh, cry, eat, sleep, get triggered, and when the black angel comes and jumps in your face, whatever, just like, okay, now what can I do? Because I think so many people think they are broken because New Age spirituality says you're broken, coaching says that you're broken. Just live, enjoy. And then when shit happens, deal with it. Make a new choice if it's not what you want. Yes, that sounds simple. It is simple.
It
Just
is. It is simple. I love it. I love it again because to be spiritual is not to stay in monastery and temples and stay and pray 12 hours and go to give to the street man a piece of bread or something. Actually, to be spiritual is to deal with fucked up things in a fucked up situation, but to hold that spirit. And that's the challenge, is not to walk every day and look left and right, okay, to not bombard, to stay in alignment more with myself, to not speak. No, it's to fuck up things, but to be aware you fuck up things and then stand up again. To be okay with fucking up things, but then to get aware and to get yourself out from there. So exactly what you say, go with the life, enjoy life. Don't put so much heavy on you. Oh, I am broken and I need to take care of myself. Nobody to broke me again. No, he never was broken. He was a little bit, like
cooking.
clothes who sit in the garderobe and is like, but you're never broken. You just need to shake yourself and look a little bit clearly around you. So I love it. Yes, go with the life. When shit's happen, ask yourself where I want to go, where I am, what's going on. And from that point, then you find the solution. So yeah, When Black Angel is coming, don't fear it. Watch it, be aware of it, and take a decision, whatever is resonating for your heart. Yeah, thank you so much, Hamish. Beautiful conversation about Black Angels. I don't think will be the last one. I love this topic because there is always something to come up. I love it. Thank you so much. And beautiful hearts, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be yourself. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you want to let go of a bad habit and that's not happening and you blame yourself every time you do it. Stop blaming yourself. If you do that habit that you want to change it, be aware of it, that you want to change it. Stay with it, but feel into you, and choose how you want to feel, how you feel when you do it, how you want to feel. And from that point, you can take a decision. Don't blame yourself from anything. We are humans. We fuck up. We hurt others, willing, no willing, unconscious, all this stuff. And the end of the day is a human experience. I am you are me, we are divine, but also we are black angels. We are multidimension. We are nothing, but we are everything. So don't get stuck in a word, in a perception, in some illusionary stories you have heard what life should be about. So enjoy yourself and make the best of this journey. Make it the best journey ever you have it. Trust in yourself and breathe in. Take a pause. There is an infinite space and time to take a decision. Breathe out and take the decision. That's the best advice I hear from Hamish. I love this one because that's the point where you can change it. So, beautiful heart, that was about Black Angels. Who are we? When are we that? How can we set our sea free from that? Live your life in the end. Thank you so much.
Yeah.